Hello, little one. Hello there. Oh, you don't have to go. You don't have to go. Okay. Come back. Oh, bless. What are you doing? What are you doing? Good day and welcome to the first segment of this week's A Week at the Plot. The first thing I'm going to do is put my gloves back on because it's bloody cold. It's odd. It's about 3 or 4 degrees at the moment, though with the grey skies and the weather that we've had where it's quite damp, it really does feel quite a bit colder than the temperature gauge suggests. And I was just sorting out my camera then, and I take my gloves off to do that. And once I'd done that, I need to put them back on. But I've come down to bring down peelings. Look at that, there's a whole load of peelings. And that is a second bag on top of a whole load of really squishy peelings. Look at that. I don't know what it is, but over the last week, I kept on forgetting to bring the peelings down from our peelie bin, and they've just piled up. And then because I was going to Forsake at the beginning of the week and the Great Green Barn, I don't know. So we've had so many that needed to come down and go in the compost bin. So that is what is going to happen very shortly. And as I was coming around the corner, I noticed on the path that there's ground. There's dirt as you'd say in America. There's ground on the path over the woodchip. And I've looked at the beds on either side and I can't see that anything has sort of turfed up onto there. I do know that our next door plot neighbours, I saw them for the first time this year on Sunday, and they were going to be moving a fig from their old plot, which is over there, to the plot here. And I'm wondering whether in that move on Sunday, that ground went over the path, but it just took me by surprise as I came in. And then I was taken even more by surprise as I walked along. Brush was in our raised bed here, which is going to be where we're going to be sowing carrots and parsnips. I haven't seen brush for quite a while, and he was just lying on the bed. It's slightly sort of depressed where he is, i.e. the ground has been compressed, so there's a depression there, and he was just sort of quite happily there. And when I came around, he got up. I think that's the first time we've been in proximity with each other for quite a while now, and he got up and then gently walked away whilst looking back at me as he went around the greenhouse. So yeah, that was rather nice to see brush around here again. That's lovely. Yeah, look at the grey sky, it's the same colour as my hair. That's ridiculous. Big plane going over. Oh, 2 herons flying over as well. That's rather lovely. It's quite we'll just wait for this to go. When I was down here on Sunday, I was with the plot neighbour next to me, and I went, look, 2 herons, and there were 2 herons flying across the sky, and they flew around in quite a big circle a couple of times, and I think they were looking for somewhere to nest. And I've just seen I assume the same herons. You know, there aren't too many herons around here. We usually only see one, but yeah, I think they were looking for a place. Well, certainly on Sunday, they were looking for a place to nest and mate and have their eggs and their chicks and all of that. So wish them well on that. I've come down today and I'm doing what many other people are doing at the moment. I am itching to get sowing. Yes, we sowed the broad beans a couple of weeks ago, and a week or so ago, just over a week, They need a little bit more water, and I'm sure that seed is swelling. Can't see any roots coming out the bottom, can't see any surface heave, because obviously when a shoot comes up, when they're size of sort of beans, that sort of pushes the soil, the compost aside as it grows, and you get ground heave. So I can't see any ground heave in those modules yet. But like many other gardeners, growers and allotmenteers, I'm really itching to get some of those seeds in the ground or in modules. The ground is too cold at the moment, certainly for carrots and parsnips. So I did tentatively get my brassicas that are a cross between Portuguese cabbage and dazzling blue kale. So those are those seeds. And I got some parsley as well. And I thought I'm going to sow those this afternoon in the greenhouse. And then I'm down here, I'm feeling the cold, and I've just looked at the weather forecast, and it basically says that we're going to have cold weather in our area through till at least the end of February, beginning of March. Many of the nights aren't going sub-zero. None of them, I think, now are going sub-zero, but it looks as though we're still getting down to 1 degree, 2 degrees, which means down here it's likely to be a few degrees cooler. So I'm just going to take these back home. I'm not going to sow seeds. Brassicas particularly are pretty robust, and I've sown Portuguese cabbage at any time of year. Obviously in the winter they take longer to germinate and longer to come into seedlings and to be large enough to be pricked out and potted up and then planted out. But I don't know, I'm not going to do it. It just doesn't seem sensible. I need to push back my excitement in sowing seeds. Those broad beans, which are quite happy to be sown now, are fine, and I will just keep an eye on those. So yeah, I'm not going to be sowing any more seeds. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put some of the compost that I've got in front of me, the fertile mulch and the soil conditioner, I'm going to put that onto some of the beds this afternoon, because there's not a great deal other work down here to do. I mean, there actually, you know what, yeah, I'll come on to that in a minute. Let's get a few bags of soil conditioner onto the bed behind the ceanothus behind me. This first bag has just been lying around unused for almost a year, so it's really well rotted down. It's all right. That bag is compost from about 6 months ago. There's a lot of worms in there. And then this is soil conditioner. I was going to put cardboard down, but I decided against it. I think that might, we're going to be growing squash in here, so I think this compost that I put on and soil improver is pretty nutritious, and I think it will be good, but maybe I'll put some chicken manure pellets on as well. Not sure if you could hear them. 3 swans. Oh. Lots of birds flying today in groups. That one's singular though. I've not seen the heron again though, or the herons rather. If you saw last week's A Week at the Plot, you'll know that I had put this woodchip into these wheelbarrows because there's a path that needs dressing with these to make it less muddy and better underfoot. Unfortunately, because the weather was so foul on Saturday and the jobs that we needed to do were fairer weather jobs than wet weather jobs, these are still here, and I don't think we're going to have a work social for a good few more weeks, and I don't want these hanging around, so I'm going to get on and do the job that somebody else was going to do at the work social now, and then at least I've got these 2 wheelbarrows empty again. This is the path that's beginning to get a little bit muddy. I can see somebody's put some wood chip down up to there, but from here on it's just going to get muddy if it carries on being wet weather, or muddier, and a trip hazard. So I'm just going to get maybe one of those wheelbarrows and put it here. Our perennial peas are definitely putting on some growth, which is fab. Oh look, there's a root. I looked at them. Oh yeah, a couple there. Oh, there's one in the right hand side there. Considering that I didn't think we'd get germination from these, I'm really pleased about that. So we've got 5 seeds in each pot, and it's only this pot that has got 4. But I just thought before I go I'd look at these lettuce. These are doing okay. I think these are Biondo Rosso, I think, and this is Marvel of 4 Seasons at the front. Really overwintering. As you can see, we did lose this one here a few weeks ago. Let's have a look how the overwintering lettuce is doing in the polytunnel. Right. Yeah, these are doing okay. This is a garlic I put in. Just found it a week or so after I'd planted the others outside. I think it's fair to see that we did lose one here, you can see, but all the others, to most extent, that one looks a bit so it's had a bit of a chill. They're doing okay, and hopefully when the weather does start warming up in a few weeks, these will start growing. I mean, you know, to be honest, some of these, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one here, they're not far off actually being harvested. What we do have here as well is bluebells. It's the bane of this polytunnel, and yeah, I pull them up at the end of the year after they flowered, and sometimes I pull them up before, but I think this time I'm just going to leave them. I might no, I'm just going to leave them. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of moss. So this bed, which has had these lettuce in it since October, it is occasionally watered but not very often, and the surface hasn't been disturbed, and you can see in some places it's looking quite green, which is moss growing. I don't know if that's an issue or not. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to hope that these lettuce survive the coming cold, which they should do because we've been below zero prior to now, and give us harvests from maybe the middle of March, end of March, something like that. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah, excellent. Right, I'm going to leave it here for this segment of A Week at the Plot. I'll see you again very soon. Bye. Good day. We still had a good 3/4 of a load of wood chip in our communal area, so I decided that I'd get on and weed this bed today, cover it in cardboard, put a bag or two of mulch on top of the cardboard. As you most probably saw, I cut through the cardboard where I know raspberries are coming up. The cardboard will really go wet and soft, and any other raspberries will come through the cardboard, or I certainly hope so. And then I've topped the mulch off with another mulch, a couple of inches of fresh wood chip. And as I was thinking of doing this, another load of wood chip was being delivered, so we've got plenty of wood chip to go around. I am going to do the josterberries at the back tomorrow. I've got cardboard in the shed, so I'm going to get on and do that, and then hopefully I'll be looking at pruning those josterberries. So I'll most probably see you tomorrow or Sunday, as it's Friday afternoon now, and what a rather gorgeous day it's been, full of sun. So I had to get down here today just so that I could experience some sun. Right, I will leave it there for today's segment of A Week at the Plot as another plane goes over. See you very soon. Bye. Good day, as you can see, I'm not at the plot. I came down with a little bug on Saturday morning. Poor me, oh, I can't go on. And yeah, it just laid me up a bit yesterday. I still managed to defrost the freezer and do various things, but I was in bed pretty early. I was sort of going in and out of sleep on the sofa by about 7. And yeah, an early night. I feel quite a bit better today, but not fab. So I'm not going to go down to the plot today. He says that, but then he might go later if I'm feeling a little bit better, just to get some fresh air and have a mooch. But yeah, the josterberry cuttings, the pruning and the josterberry cuttings will have to wait till next week, as will other things that I planned. There's a horseradish that needs to be potted up that one of the plotters has given me. But yeah, that will have to wait until next week. I think all I'm going to do today is read a few books, catch up on a few things, catch up on my blog, A Guernsey Gardener in 2025, and look at my seed box again, maybe for the 6th or 7th time, and just check I do actually have everything that I am wanting to grow this year. Not rushing to do seed sowing, as I said. There's a few hardy things we'll be sowing maybe in a week or so, but certainly things like tomatoes, I'm just going to lay off those for another month or so, because I do want to do them down in the poly or the greenhouse rather than having them at home, just in case we decide that it's time to put the house on the market. But we will see, we will see. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here for this week's A Week at the Plot. Any comments, any questions, please do leave them down below. Please do check out our playlists. There's plenty of playlists there. Oh, there's a bit of sun coming out again. Oh, it's been a grey sky, grey yesterday and grey today so far. But look, there's a bit of sun. And if there is a bit of sun later, I will get to the plot. Yeah, I'll make myself. Anyway, yes, check out our playlists. We've got lots of informative videos in there. And I will see you next week for further segments of A Week at the Plot as we go through on Planet Vegetaria, or obviously for another full upload on YouTube on Monday. Whatever is happening in your garden, your growing space, or your allotment, I hope you're getting some sun, and I hope you are getting some rest too, because I know we can all overdo it. See you very soon. Bye.